Hello, Susan. Aye. Take a seat. Jayne. Philipp. Good to see you. Take a seat. They are, aren't they? Jayne's first observation. This is a big seat. You know, every time they put us on stage, they always put you in a seat that makes you feel like a little boy again. Almost like my feet could swing, you know? Do you remember that when you were little? Susan, how do I pronounce your last name?
Motswanageng.
It almost has that Arabic sound to it, huh? You know? Try again for me.
Motswanageng.
Motswanageng.
Yes.
Does that sound okay?
Perfect.
Oh. Because you should read it. It doesn't say that when you read the name. Now, Susan, you're from Botswana.
I'm from Botswana.
I was thinking about one of the first things that we could do is maybe you guys could take a moment to introduce yourselves, because during the pandemic, millions joined Forever that have never met you guys. And this, for some of them, this is the first time they've seen you, because it's the first time we've kind of done a live event. So why don't you take just a couple minutes, tell us a little about you, where you're from, how long you've been in Forever, what are some of the things you're aiming for?
Oh, okay. I'll be glad to let the world know about me. My name is Susan Motswanageng. I am from Botswana. Botswana is in southern Africa. And I come from a town called Maung in the northern part of Maung. I've been part of Forever Living since 2016. So last month was my 5th anniversary with Forever Living. I was a teacher before. I am a former teacher. I joined Forever Living whilst I was still a teacher. I'm currently not working, but I am a full-time Forever Living business owner. Forever has granted me time freedom, and I'm not traveling the world with Forever Living, guys, and I'm so happy to be in the Dubai 2020 Expo.
Your energy is amazing, isn't it? You know?
Me.
I wish you were my teacher when I was in school. I would have enjoyed going to school. How many kids?
I've got 3 kids. I've got 2 boys and a little girl. Sala is 15 years old, Lifika is 11 years old, and little Maya is only 10 months.
Wow.
Yes.
You had a baby 10 months ago.
Yes, during the pandemic.
Yeah. Some things even the pandemic didn't stop, right? Well, thank you for taking the time to introduce. So you joined Forever 2016?
Yes.
So if my math is correct, that's about what, 5 years?
5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
And 5 years, you're already in the GLT?
Yes.
That's incredible. We're going to find out a little bit more about that in a moment.
Thank you so much.
Jayne Leach.
Well, I'm at the other end of the scale because
Yes, ma'am.
I joined Forever Living 28 years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I joined Forever. My background was in farming, in horses. I used to breed horses and train horses, and I had a great way of life, but never enough money. And I was a single mum with 2 little boys, and I wanted to give them the very best life that I could. And I think we all get to a stage in our life where we reach a point where we need to make some decisions, some life-changing decisions. I didn't know what I was going to do, and then Forever came into my life. And I was a little skeptical, a little, what is this? I'd never heard of Aloe. I didn't know what it was, and I wasn't familiar with network marketing. However, it felt right, and in my heart, it felt right. And I got involved on a very part-time basis, and within 8 months, I was making more in Forever than I was in my full-time career of 18 years. And I knew this was my destiny, my purpose, my calling. And it's been an incredible journey.
It has.
You know, my main focus when I first started was to give my children a private education, the best education that money could buy. And within 1 year of being in Forever, I had them in top public schools in the UK, so I was very proud of that. Yeah, and 7 years to Diamond.
7 years it took you to become a Diamond?
Yeah.
You're also a grandmother.
I am. I've got two little tiny ones. I've got two little tiny ones. I've got Harrison and Dorothy, and they are incredible, the next generation, and they give you a whole new purpose. You know, you do the best for your children, and the little ones come along, and suddenly it takes on a new meaning all over again. So I'm a pawpaw because my son's married a half Chinese girl, and in Chinese, granny is pawpaw.
Oh, is it?
But I'm way too young to be a granny. You understand that, don't you?
You look fantastic. You look amazing. The pandemic's definitely been good for you to get out and get a bit more active and have a lot of good time. Now, you said 28 years in Forever.
Yes.
Before I go on to Philipp's introduction, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
If you could go back to that first moment and sit down with Jayne Leach 28 years ago, knowing what you know now,
Yes.
what would you tell that lady?
I would say, dream big and don't waste your time with time wasters. I think in the early days, I wasted way too much time with those that wanted it but never took any action. And I look back on those moments and I realized I spent too much time with the wrong people. But I would say, have no fear, you know, fully engage with Forever. It will never let you down. It's a quiet constant in a hectic world. And, you know, I always say have a mad, passionate love affair with the business because that's what it is.
I like that. I like that. So, you say 28 years ago, you'd sit down and say, have no fear.
Have no fear.
And you say, don't waste your time with time wasters. How do you know when someone's a time waster? Because this is a problem, it's a question we all have, right? Is how do I know when it's time to cut bait and move on?
Well, I kind of do it on what I call those ha-ha moments. So if I was working with a new FBO and they all come to you saying they want the world, but what they want and what they show by their actions are two very different things. So I work with everybody on day one as if they're going to be a manager and then progress through to be an eagle and a chairman's bonus. Every person gets that same input from me. But, you know, you can plan a business and you can put a lot of time and energy into that first month. And at the end of the month, when you review the activity, they've not done anything. So I just go, And then maybe you plan the next month and they don't do anything, you go, And by the third month, I'm done, I'm gone. Because my time's valuable. And I'm looking to work with people that justify my time because I know if they work with me, I can change their life. And yet what we tend to do, and I did it, and I'm sure you guys do it, and have done it in the early days, when you recruit somebody, you put all your attention into them, but you want it for them more than they want it for themselves.
I like that sort of focus on the actual numbers. Let the numbers, the data tell you whether they're in or they're out. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Philipp, how long have you been in Forever?
I joined Forever in 2002. Since
So you don't look old enough to have been in Forever since 2002. It's incredible. It went like that, huh?
yeah, nearly 20 years now.
Wow.
I'm in the business, and I started with 18. Before I was a football player, and that was my life. And I had done a healthy problem, and after that, I show around what I can do, and I search a new opportunity. And Forever gives me a good feeling to start a new possibility to change my life. And I'm very happy I find Forever, and I had someone that speak to me. Forever is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for my life, and
So I like what you mentioned. So you mentioned about you're grateful for Peter Keller.
Yeah, of course.
For coming and speaking to you as the sponsor. And I want to just highlight that for a second because that changed your life.
Of course, yeah.
And, you know, because Philipp was a professional football player, had a knee injury or something?
No, healthy problem.
Yeah, so...
The immune system then, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he had an injury and then had to change his life. And then, so why do I highlight that is because you're all sponsors. And sometimes we feel like that we're stepping into someone's life and interrupting or they're not interested. In reality, You look at Philipp's story is that, oh, I needed that. I'm grateful for that. So let me ask you the same question real quick. Let me ask you this question. You're a diamond manager.
Yes.
20 years in the business, GLT member, chairman's bonus, blah, 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 blah. What kind of team do I need to build to achieve that kind? It's one of the questions that came from the UAE crowd was, how big of a team am I needing to build? And how long is it going to take me to get there?
Yeah, I think the very important thing is you have a team spirit, a great team spirit, and you have trust in the team, and you help them, and you go together, and in the same time you need a lot of patience, of course. It's not a business you can grow so fast or in 1, 2, 3 months. You need time, and you build up the people, you help them, and you need to be a role model, I think so. And yeah, that's the very important thing. You need to be the best customer for yourself from the products. You need to be the products from the products. And yeah, you need to have a great spirit. Not every time, every day is all easy. We see that in the Corona times, a lot of things changed. You need to search new ways to build the business in a new way. You cannot do all things the whole time. You need to be flexible now in this time. I think so.
So in those good days and bad days
Yeah,
that you mentioned, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay focused? How do you, not your team, you?
Yeah, my team, it's a lot of motivation for me.
Right.
Yeah. I have a commitment for my team, and my team have a commitment for me. When I work together with my key leaders, then we have a commitment together, and that feels great for me.
So I know one of the
To
things...
work with them then.
Right. One of the things I know you do is you bring your group together a lot, all over the world. You know, I remember you had a meeting in Thailand, you had a meeting in Arizona, and what type of activities are you doing, or what are you trying to achieve when you bring your group together like that?
Yeah, this is a week training we call Diamond Retreat, and the very important thing then is to have time together and moments together, create moments together, and you help them to build the real business. You help them in the daily activities, then the daily activities that are so powerful, and we need that. We need to work hand in hand with our downline. Then they have the trust in the business, the trust in yourself. I can do that. And yeah, of course, that is very important to create a family feeling in the same time.
Because you get trust and support and patience all built into that. The daily activities. What are the daily activities for a successful FBO?
For me, it's very important you do contacts every day, personal contacts. I like that, the personal feeling, and I do that now in the same time. 10 or 20 contacts per day. That is very important, I think so. That gives more than 200 or 200 and more contacts in the month. And that is over 2,000 in the year. And of course, you have then success. Of course, you have new customer then, and you have new team partners. And we need to do this business, this job. No one can know we have the best products when we make no contact to them.
Right.
And the same, it's in the business. We need to go out and to speak to the people. Forever is the best opportunity in the world. And when we don't do that, then we don't have the chance that the new people see that.
It's very interesting you say that. How many people always question us about being successful when you say, how many people did you talk to last week? 3? You know? Susan, so we've talked about recruitment and talking to all these people. So I'm successful and I recruit someone. How do you get a new person started?
Usually when I find a recruit or if I sign up someone new, the most important thing that I usually do is that I make sure that I give that very new person all necessary information. Number one, I sit them down, I have a meeting with them, and then I would take out this most important booklet that we have, Steps to Manager. I sit down my prospect, and we go through that book. Number one, I would help them, or I'll help them see the importance of having their 100 people in place. Sometimes the new people, they'll tell you, I'm not so sure I've got quite a number of people to introduce this business to. And then we've got the Steps to Manager, guys. It has detailed, it has written down, it has made it very simple. It has simplified it for a new person. You sit that new person of yours down and see, remember you have a hairdresser. That is one person you can introduce the business to. You have your designer, your tailor, that is one person we can introduce the business to. You have your gardener, you have your doctor, you have your gyna, you have your nurse, you have your pediatrician, you have where you get probably your groceries from. There are quite a lot of people that a new person needs to be shown that these are the kind of people that you can introduce the business to. And then I like the fact that usually when I sign up someone new, when they receive like their first stock, I make sure that I do what is called a home launch. That is very, very key. It's very important to have a launch for the new person, because during the launch, you ask that new person to go and invite the friends, the closest people in her cycle, the relatives, whoever that person can find. And then you come as the sponsor and introduce the business to those people. Number one, you create a market for this new person, because at the end of the launch, you would have introduced the products to that cycle, to that small community. For your new recruit, you would have introduced the business opportunity. Maybe at the end of that launch, you may be having 3 or 4 new customers for this new person. You may probably score 1 or 2 recruits for that new person. So that is what I usually do for my people. I make sure that I don't hold back any winning strategies, any skills. I dish it all so that I make sure that that person has everything to help them win.
Fantastic.
So that even if I'm not there, they know what works and what doesn't work. They know what to do and what not to do.
I love the specific nature of that, is that, you know, you gave them counsel to, you got to speak to up to 20 or contact 20 people a day. Once they get in, this is what you do. You lay this out for them so the areas, the opportunities to fail are reduced. And Jayne, I know that you're key on structure and function. How do you build a willingness in that new recruit to follow that structure?
I think it's really simple, because I think once the person you're working with is really emotionally connected to their why, their dream, their goal, and they've kind of vocalized that to you, then it's very simple to put the business structure in place. Putting a structure in place for a new FBO when they don't really know why they're doing it is not that simple. So for me, I spend quite a lot of time at the beginning of a planning, like these guys do, really getting to know my new prospect, really digging deep to find out what's important. And sometimes that can be, a couple of hours sitting with them, having a drink and chatting and really drilling down to see what they're prepared to work for. And I think there's a difference between them sort of saying there's something they would like and there's something they're prepared to work for. And then once you've identified that, putting the structure in place becomes quite simple, because they kind of have an understanding. If they do this, they get that. So for me, it's very much identify that emotional goal, the thing that's most important to them, and then put the plan in place. So then we plan and we do and we review. So it's very important, I think, at the end of each month, at the end of each quarter, to actually review the plan that you've started to implement. You know, are they on track? Are they falling behind? You know, have they excelled? And then, you know, readdress and then plan and do and review. And when you're working with somebody who really wants the business, who's got that love for it, it's such an easy process. And when you're working with somebody that really hasn't got that emotional connection, it drags you down. And that's why I said, you know, work with those that have a dream, a passion, a desire for change in their lives.
So that plan, review, plan, do, review.
Yes.
That's a great one. I hope you guys are taking notes on this stuff. Plan, do, review.
Yeah.
Because I think what we've built here in just our 20 or 30 minutes together is kind of a plan to get people going. One thing it isn't is easy.
No.
You know, and so I want to ask the same question in closing to all of you, and I'll start with Philipp. What have you learned during the pandemic that you hope that you never forget?
I learned to work more online, and gives me more freedom. Of course, in the same time, you need to handle the effect in your business. And I do a lot with Zoom calls. I never before I make that so much, and it works. Before I think in my head that never will work, like it works now, and this gives me more freedom. Of course, in the same time, you need to handle how it's the effect in the business and what it's to do that you have the best results in the future. But I think this is a big point in my
being
time.
digitally connected, but still disciplined, right? So Jayne, what as the pandemic taught you that you hope to never forget?
I think very similar to Philipp, in that, you know, this business can be run highly effectively online. But the one thing it's really taught me more than anything is, whilst we can work effectively online, this business is about eyeball to eyeball, heart to heart.
Belly to belly.
It's belly to belly. And it's about having that hybrid vision in the way that you work. You know, it's about understanding we're global and using the digital assets that we have. We can build a global business from the comfort of our own home, but equally bring into that the human side, the human touch, and know that when you bring people together, that's when the magic happens. So for me, it's about layering the way we do the business. And as the pandemic begins to ease a little and we can see each other a bit more, the one thing that we've discovered in this last 2 or 3 days, coming together as GLT, oh my goodness, it's been incredible and so much needed. So, you know, don't hide behind the digital assets and all the platforms. Use them to help you reach more people, but equally step out and see people face to face as well.
Love that, love that. Susan, 2 questions for you.
Okay.
The first question that I have for you is about balance, because I know you're a busy mother.
Yeah.
You're grinding. In my home, we have this expression that we say, I always warn my kids from 24 to 44, it's the grind. And you're in the middle of that grind with the kids and everything else going on, and still you're building a business. How do you achieve that balance?
It's very true. I'm a very, very busy mommy and an entrepreneur as well. What I usually do, I make use of a planner. I plan my days ahead. Like I plan my week ahead. I know I start my week on a Sunday. A Sunday is a planning day for me. What I usually do is that I sit down and I know how my Monday should go, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And as my mommy, I have to make sure that I cater for the family. There are days where I drop my kids off to school because I need that bonding. And then there are days when I usually attend to the team. Usually I make use of the weekends for the business because remember I told you I stay in the northern part of Botswana and then I have team members all across the country. So I make sure that I use my weekends to go and touch these other team members that are far away from me. So making use of a planner, sitting down and writing what I usually do. On Mondays, usually, I get feedback from everyone that I've sold the products to the previous week. I usually give people about 7 days. If you've bought an aloe vera gel from me, after 7 days, I contact you either through a call, either through a WhatsApp message and ask, how is my product? Did you love it? Do you know why I do that? I do that so that I get feedback and then I get to know that customer much better. And then I can introduce more products. Probably if he has kids, I knew I should introduce the multi-chewables. If there are elderly people, I know I got to introduce and the like. And then on Tuesdays are delivery days because the previous week, I would have been advertising my products, advertising, and then I get lump sum and go deliver there and there and there and there. And then Wednesdays, I do Zoom calls for the team. It's a day for the team trainings. I got a huge team, and then I know I need to touch my non-manager team, but still I need to give my manager team some attention. And then on Thursdays, I get orders, I advertise my products online. Sometimes, because the restrictions have been eased, I go to different places, to malls, to do contact marketing, to hand the brochures, the flyers for the different products, and the like. So what gives me balance, guys, is the fact that I sit down and plan my entire week. Sunday, like Jayne said, it's review and plan the other week.
Wow. That is unbelievable. I hope that you're picking up on this stuff. If you want to be a 10,000 case qualifier in Botswana, in the northern part of Botswana, that's the kind of discipline and energy that you need. There's no shortcut to that. Guys, if you can believe we ran out of time.
Oh, shame.
I know
it's
it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just it's so easy to sit and talk with you. I can't believe it. Nick's screaming behind me, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. But we love you. We appreciate you. And, you know, I hope that you guys feel our love and the fact that we know that we have the very best, I was going to say people, but it's more than that. Of course, the best people, but leaders and examples and like you say, role models, and so willingly and freely to give of what you have. And we appreciate you so much. Susan, Jayne, Philipp, big round of applause for our guests. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Well done. Good job. Great job. Appreciate it. What do you think? Did you learn anything?